This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for February 16, 2023. And in the news this afternoon, 3 more charges for UWI student accused of torturing ex-girlfriend. Matthew Hyde, the 20-year-old University of the West Indies student, accused of locking his ex-girlfriend in his dorm room and torturing her with a clothing iron, has been hit with 3 additional charges. Hyde has now been charged with false imprisonment, malicious communication, and assault occasioning bodily harm. Hyde, who is of Bremer Avenue, Kingston 5, was previously charged with assault occasioning grievous bodily harm. Head of the St. Andrew Central Police Senior Superintendent Marlon Nesbeth said a court date has not yet been decided for Hyde. The police believed the 19-year-old woman was held captive for at least 3 days in Hyde's room at the George Lane Hall, during which she was tortured with a clothing iron and other stuff. She was discovered sometime after 10 p.m. on February 9. Police investigations have suggested that the victim was accused by Hyde of infidelity on the day before he locked her away in his room. Teenager shot and killed in Portmore. The Waterford police in Portmore, St. Catherine, are searching for the killer of a 19-year-old resident on Wednesday night. The deceased has been identified as Tyrese Dorher, otherwise called African, unemployed of Laburnum Crescent, Portsmouth, St. Catherine. According to reports, about 8:30 p.m., Dorher was standing on the road conversing with others when a silver Toyota Fielder motorcar drove up. Shots were fired from the vehicle, hitting Dorher repeatedly. He was taken to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Desmond Mackenzie closes sign removed for repair following vandalism, says the councillor. Less than a week after the Desmond Mackenzie close sign was unveiled in Somerset, Manchester, in honor of the country's Minister of Local Government, it has been vandalized. Jamaica Labour Party councillor for the Johnsall Division, Faith Sampson, told the news on Thursday that the sign was taken down by a welder. A part was vandalized, so a welder living nearby took it down to repair it and replace it, she said. She added that parts of the sign were bent. The welder has taken it down to straighten and replace it, Sampson said. The sign has created widespread debate on social media, with many users questioning the renaming of Guava Walk Road in northwest Manchester in honor of Mackenzie. Almost 2 years ago, the Guava Walk Road was rehabilitated, costing $5 million. An overjoyed Mackenzie last Friday unveiled the street sign bearing his name following a tour of a water shop being constructed in Somerset, a few miles northwest of Mandeville. Last year, a homeless shelter was named in honor of Mackenzie. The renaming of the roadway was organized by Sampson. She crossed the floor in the Manchester Municipal Corporation in mid-2020 from the People's National Party to the JLP. Sampson recently said Mackenzie was deserving of the road being renamed in honor of him, following a commitment she made to do so in June 2021. When Minister came and opened this road, Guava Walk Road, we made a commitment and we asked him for a water shop, and we said to him, Minister, when you come to open the water shop, we are going to rename this road Desmond Mackenzie. We said Boulevard then. The water shop is not yet completed, she said. Mackenzie is one of a kind. First thing is him love poor people. The less fortunate brothers and sisters talk about this man, that him go all out for the less fortunate, she added. Charges could be laid against Jean and Panton today. The news was informed that charges could be laid sometime today against Jean and Panton, the former wealth advisor implicated in fraud at investment firm Stocks and Securities Limited. Ms. Panton was questioned for several hours for the second straight day on Wednesday by fraud squad detectives and officers from the Financial Investigation Division. More than $2 billion is alleged to have been stolen from the accounts of investors at SSL over a 12-year period. Sprint legend Usain Bolt reported that he was fleeced of more than $12 million in the scam. The U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation has been assisting the local police in the probe. 4 guns seized during Treasure Beach operation, police sources say. An intelligence-driven operation has reportedly led to the seizure of 4 guns at Fort Charles Beach close to Treasure Beach in South St. Elizabeth on Thursday morning. A police source told the news that the pre-dawn operation, which is still ongoing, resulted in the 4 guns, namely 3 handguns and a shotgun. It is unclear as to whether any arrests have been made in relation to the seizure of the weapons. In the Wandon gang trial, judge accepts authenticity of call data. Chief Justice Brent Sykes has signaled that a 47-minute call that was made on January 8, 2019 appears to be consistent with the call data that was extracted by the police. Justice Sykes, who continued his summation of evidence in the Wandon gang trial on Wednesday, said based on the evidence given by the 2 officers from the Communication Forensic and the Cybercrime Division, the data was not altered. Justice Sykes cautioned, however, that not all the phone evidence given by the police officer in relation to names and the numbers of alleged gang members who the former Don had spoken to is admissible in law because it came from a third-party source. Earlier in the trial, the former gangster testified that he secretly recorded conversations among members of the criminal network between January and September 2019. Justice Sykes said information from the telecommunications service providers supports the Crown's narrative on the data extracted from the phones in relation to the time, date, and the duration. However, the judge said the witness from Flow and the Digicel who spoke about general operations did not help in identifying specific data. The summation continues today. Clarendon vendor shot dead. The police are investigating the death of a vendor in Maypen, Clarendon on Tuesday. Keith McIntosh, otherwise called the brother of Moko in the parish, was shot by 2 men posing as customers. It is reported that about 8:30 p.m., Mr. McIntosh, 27, was on Main Street when he was approached by the men, one of whom engaged him in a brief conversation. The other man then pulled a handgun and shot Mr. McIntosh in the head and the upper body. A black bag was also stolen by the killers. The men escaped in a gray Toyota Wish motor car. Mr. McIntosh was pronounced dead at hospital. The incident was captured on closed-circuit television cameras. Office of the Prime Minister hit by cyber attack. The Office of the Prime Minister says it has been the subject of a cyber attack. In a media release on Thursday, it said a team of cybersecurity experts from the Cyber Incident Response Team and the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency is working aggressively to assess the extent of the attack. The OPM wishes to assure the public that all efforts are being made to protect the personal information of our staff and the stakeholders. The OPM takes the security of our systems and the data very seriously and is working diligently to address the situation, it stated. The OPM said the government's operations have not been affected by this incident. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.